Hello friends and greetings for the day. Welcome to another tutorial on ISTQB Advanced Test Automation Engineer. We are in chapter 3 and we are getting continued with the topic 3.2 Test Automation Architecture Design. And in this particular tutorial we are continuing with 3.2.2, the part 2 of that. Now in this particular tutorial we'll be continuing the understanding on the scripting. How do you prepare the test scripts for the automation in this tutorial? So in previous tutorial we understood about the we understood all about the capture and playback scripting and linear scripting. In this tutorial we'll be continuing further with the new topic, structured scripting. Now the only difference between the structured and the linear is the library. Now what is a library? Library is basically just like any ordinary library where you have collection of functions put together and you maintain your script in a batch file put together as a library. And the library is actually a systematic arrangement for several scripts which you have prepared and could be well maintained for all future aspects. As and when you need the script, you can simply call in and run the script as a part of your automation framework. The pros, of course, includes benefits of this approach include a significant reduction in the maintenance changes required and the reduced cost of automation new tests. So you don't really have to recreate the test every time. All you need to do is create and save it for all. The advantages of structured scripting are largely attained through the reuse of scripts. More tests can be automated without having to create the volume of scripts that a linear scripting approach would require. On the other side, when you talk about the disadvantages, its initial effort to create the shared script can be seen as a disadvantage, but this initial investment should pay big dividends if approached properly. So of course, preparing the script for the first time will be in context not only to run the test but also in terms of using it as a library function for future as well. Then at this point of time it requires more effort to be prepared in such a way that it can be used in future tests as well. Whereas programming skill would be required here to be a part of preparing structured scripting, the script library must be well managed is another disadvantage or time taking or time consuming process for this. In continuation with that, we come with another test framework which is also known as data-driven scripting, where generally the parameterization happens. This simply means that if you want to run a test for several iterations with different set of data, you know it as data-driven scripting. And in this particular the scripting method, one is the control script, which is the main script to pull the data from a resource, get the data, and then run it on the application with several rows of data. So control script would be created after you look at the application, understand the object, whereas the parent script would remain the same in terms of importing the data, exporting the data, or running the program, and so on. Whereas the pros, when you talk about the advantages, the cost of adding new automated tests can be significantly reduced because it is once for all you create and use it. This technique is also used to automate many variations of useful tests, giving deeper testing in a specific area and may increase test coverage. Whereas on the other side, the disadvantage include the need to manage data files and make sure they are readable by tests is disadvantage, but can be approached properly. Sometimes it's possible that the extended files cannot be read by the solutions because there are two things. One is the script, one is the automation solution, which you save in a different format. Sometimes the automation solution will not be compatible with that of the script which you have saved. Other than that, important negative tests may be missed. As we're talking about the positive executions, only all valid set of data will be accepted here. So negative chances of losing the negative test would be very common. At the end, we are talking about keyword driven in this tutorial. Keyword driven generally determines the execution of multiple set of data, but of course this will be hand-picked data for a reusability test. So generally when you try to execute a particular test but you want to use data not sequentially or the order which you have already defined, but you want to pick up those test cases which you want to run as of your choice, and that's where the keywords will be helpful. So all you do is the approach includes preparing or selecting a keyword for each test uniquely and identifying and creating a control framework as a term of like picking up the keyword from the Excel sheet or data sheet and then calling the required function or required test script to run the same. The advantages include the once the controlling script and supporting script for the keyword have been written, the cost of adding new automated tests will be much reduced by this scripting technique. Of course, as we understand that, the benefit of the keyword-driven approach over the data-driven approach in this regard is the use of the keywords. That's the most important thing. Of course, the keyword makes it happen. So keyword is something which is really important. Each keyword should represent a sequence of detailed action that produce some meaningful result. On the other side, the cons include implementing the keywords remain a big task for test automation engineers, particularly if using a tool that offers no support for this scripting techniques, whereas the care needs to be taken to ensure that the correct keywords are implemented. Also, good keywords will be used often with many different tests, whereas poor keywords are likely to be used just once or only a few times. So as we understand about the data-driven framework and keyword-driven framework, also the structured, that's what we have got in this particular tutorial. Not keeping it long, we will be coming back to you with another tutorial of this particular topic, that is part 3 of the same, where we have 2 more scripting approaches remaining from this section to cover it. So that's all from this particular tutorial team. Should you have any query, feel free to comment below. I'll be there to address your queries and answer the same. Till then, keep learning, keep exploring, keep understanding the context. Thanks for watching the video team and happy learning.